Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Study Smart with Coordinator Sega. I'm here to teach you some basic points that will help you to pass your German wide exam questions. Okay, for every government exam, we have different topics. Okay, and every of the question is classified into different topics in government. But the basic 5 topics that is classified into in government is, I will show them on the board now. You see them, okay? All right, topic 1. Topic 1, we have what we call the forms of government. Forms of government. All right. Topic 1, we have forms of government. Topic 2, we have the concepts of government. Concepts of government. All right. Topic 3. Okay. We have the systems of government. Topic 4. We have pre-colonial and colonial administration. Pre-colonial and colonial administration. Then topic 5. Although we have a lot more topic in government that JAM set questions from and even why, but this topic are the basic 5 topics. Okay. In addition to all this, we'll do more topics. But let's treat these ones first. Topic 5. We have what we call constitutional development. Constitutional development. Okay. Development and international organizations. Okay, now here are the basic 5 topics that government is classified into for every of your government exam question, whether you're writing JAM or you're writing WAEC. Okay. Now, but first of all, you have to understand your forms of government before you even move further into studying any other topics in government. Okay, the forms of government is the number 1 topic in government every government student must understand, which is forms of government. Now, we'll treat some forms of government, although there are a lot of forms of government, but we'll treat the basic one that mostly come out in exams. There's no way you will set your JAM or WAEC exam without them bringing such questions. Okay, so we'll treat the forms of government. Hope you've taken this. We have forms of government, we have the concept of government, we have the systems of government, we have pre-colonial stroke colonial administration in government, and we have constitutional development and international organizations. All right, now we'll start with. Okay, now we have the forms of government. Now, number 1 forms of government that is mostly asked in every exam is what we call aristocracy. It's what we call aristocracy. Aristocracy. Now, they always ask this question. They will ask, the form of government where the best citizen rule is called dash. The form of government where the best citizen rule is called dash. It's called aristocracy. It's called what? Aristocracy. Now, what is aristocracy? Aristocracy is a form of government that is ruled by a few privileged persons. Now, this privileged the wealthy people in the society, the wealthy class, or they may be referred to as the elites, who are known as the educated people in a society, or those of high rank status, Okay, so when such persons are the one handling the government, such a form of government is known as aristocracy, which make them classify such government as government ruled by the best citizen. So government ruled by the best citizens is what we refer to as aristocracy. Point 2. Another form of government is what we call theocracy. Theocracy. Now, what is theocracy? Now, theocracy is a form of government where religious leaders are the one at the end of affair. When religious leaders like priestess, the priest, pope, pastors, okay, any religious leader, one who occupies religious position, when they are the one in government, the leader of government, that form of government is known as what? Theocracy. So we classify theocracy as a form of government that is ruled by religious leaders. Alright, point 3 is what we call plutocracy. Plutocracy. Now, plutocracy is a form of government that is ruled by only the wealthy class. Plutocracy is a form of government that is ruled by the rich. So when you see a question and you are asked, the form of government where rich people rule is called that. It's called plutocracy. It's called what? Plutocracy. Then we have another form of government known as gerontocracy. 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 Alright, some people they make a mistake, they call it genotocracy. No, it's called gerontocracy. Okay, what is gerontocracy? Gerontocracy is a form of government that is ruled by the elderly ones. Okay, when the elderly ones are the one at the aim of affair, they are the one leading the country or leading the government. Such a form of government is referred to as what? Gerontocracy. Okay, we have the fifth one, which is known as diarchy. Now, this can also be called a joint form of government. A joint form of government. Now, what is diarchy? Diarchy is a form of government where civilian and military rule side by side in government position. Let's take for instance let's say we are operating a parliamentary system of government, and the head of the state is a civilian who is called the president, and the head of government is a military president who is known as the prime minister. Such a government is known as diarchy. It's known as what? Diarchy. Or simply put, in a presidential system of government where the president, the head of the state, or the head of state and head of government is the civilian, but his vice president is a military personnel. Such a form of government is known as what? Diarchy. Or you take for instance a government council, the executive council, where we have both civilians and military personnel forming such a government. Such form of government is known as diarchy. So we classify diarchy as a form of government where civilian and military rule together. Alright. Number 6 form of government is what we call oligarchy. It's what we call what? Oligarchy. Now, we have different forms of oligarchy. Aristocracy is classified as a form of oligarchy. Theocracy is classified as a form of oligarchy. Now, plutocracy is classified as a form of oligarchy. Then the last one that is classified as a form of oligarchy is what we call authoritarianism, okay, or autocratic government. Now, what is oligarchy? Oligarchy is a form of government that is ruled by few for the benefit of the few. Sometimes others question will ask, a form of government where the few rule for the benefit of the few is known as that. It's known as oligarchy. It's known as what? Oligarchy. Now, you can also define oligarchy as a form of government that is ruled by few privileged persons, and these few privileged persons, as we said in aristocracy, who are known as the wealthy class, the educated elite, or high rank people of the society. Okay, those few privileged persons, when they rule for the benefit of the few, such a form of government is termed oligarchy. It's termed what? Oligarchy. Now, the 7th one is what we call autocracy. Autocracy, which is also referred to as one-man government, which is known as autocratic government. Now, autocracy is a form of government where one man, a single individual, has absolute government power, where all governmental power rests on a single individual, and he can do whatsoever he likes without any question or opposition from any other person in such a society. Such a government is known as autocratic government, which if its form of government is classified as what? Autocracy. Number 8, we have another form of government. Alright? Number 8 is what we call fascism. It's what we call fascism. Now, fascism originated from Italy. Fascism originated from Italy under the leadership of Benito Mussolini. Okay, was the leader of Italy at that time. Now, what is fascism? We simply put, fascism is the Italian word for autocracy, for an autocratic government. It is also seen as a one-man government, but it moved further to a type of one-man government where nobody dares oppose the leader of such a state as at that time. Okay? When it is fascism that is in practice, nobody dares oppose the leader because it is an authoritarian leader. And in such a government, the leader can also be referred to as a despot leader. A despot leader. Okay? We'll classify, let me write despot here. It can also be referred to as a despot leader, okay, despot leader, or a tyrant, Okay? Alright. Now, a despot leader or what? Or a tyrant. So these are some of the basic forms of oligarchy, of government. We have aristocracy, we have theocracy, we have plutocracy, we have gerontocracy, we have diarchy, we have oligarchy, we have autocracy, and we have fascism. There are a lot more forms of government. We also have narcissism. Okay, there are other forms of government. Democracy is also a form of government. Okay, but these basic forms of government that are mostly asked, there's no way they will set an exam, a government exam question, whether for JAM or WAEC, without using questions regarding these forms. So we classify some of these as the forms of government. When you properly understand these basic forms of government, anytime you are faced with a question,